Good afternoon, Manteca. It's great to be amongst all of you. When I was informed that we are going to have a TEDx in Manteca, I thought, wow, it would be soon when AI would probably be managing the almond harvest here. Or it would be running your local school board. Or even better, it would probably be booking a table for me, the Black Bear Diners on Yosemite Avenue, even before I step out of this place. Jokes apart, there is a certain reason it makes a lot of sense to have this conversation here. AI is not just about tech companies and robots. It's about people, it's about local communities, and it's about everyday usage. So let me tell you a story which is very close and personal to me. Out in a village in southern India, where we have our ancestral property, nobody lives there, we decided to hand it over to an NGO. They ran it as an old age home, with the elderly reminiscing their past, spending time out over there. This NGO recently introduced AI to them. Fascinating. These people were technologically challenged, even they had language challenges. They only knew their local language. So they were very hesitant at the beginning. Soon, they started playing around with it, asking a few questions, asking them to play some local music. But there was a point when a 78-year-old Rajan Tata, we call Tata as grandpa, who was introduced to this AI-powered digital assistant with translation to communicate with his grandson who's living in Canada. And this grandson does not know the local language. And grandpa doesn't know English. So he had over an hour's conversation with his grandson. And tears of joy rolled down his eyes once he finished that. So this is not just a story of one village, an elderly old age home. It's about how, if we make AI accessible to everyone, it can have an impact. So AI should not be a divider, or for that instance, any technology. It should be an equalizer. It needs to be made available to all. So let's explore how. Despite a lot of technological advancements in AI, the GPUs, the large language models, it is riddled with a particular challenge, specifically around adoption. And more specifically, outside tech centers, Silicon Valleys, towards small cities, local businesses. What are those reasons which is blocking the adoption of AI? I would look into it in 4 aspects. One is complexity. It feels that AI belongs to an exclusive club requiring specialized skills. Second, there's a lack of trust. If you don't understand the way AI makes its decisions, you won't use them. The third is most of the AI systems mirror the human biases, leading to ethical concerns. And finally, value. There's a lot of things going on AI which are still in experimental POC stages and yet to get to that high value creation. For instance, even where I work in a large enterprise, where there's tremendous innovation coming up, AI is in the DNA of every layer, infrastructure, database, application. The essence, what we are trying to do is, how does it generate value? How can I improve the business outcomes for the customers who are using this, even from a technology standpoint? So when there is this drive to drive value at an enterprise level, look at what needs to be done to make an outreach to non-technology companies, when you have to go to local communities, cities, etc. So in essence, it needs to be understandable. There needs value to be driven. So how do we make this work? So I sort of layer it as 3 pillars of AI accessibility. Around trust, as I said, people should understand the way AI makes its decisions. It should be explainable, it should be actionable. For instance, if there's a local business in Manteca which is using an AI-powered analytics, the user should understand the insights and trust the recommendations which AI is making. Secondly, AI belongs to everyone, not just to a few in Silicon Valley or the tech centers. It doesn't require a PhD to use, and it needs to be integrated into everyday workflow, local governance, education system, public safety. And finally, it needs to reflect the diverse communities and be unbiased. Like garbage in, garbage out. It's the same thing, same concept here. If you have biased data, you'll have biased outcome. Cities like Manteca should have access to equitable AI-driven solutions which reflect their unique and diverse community. So looking forward, from an accessibility perspective, AI is here not to replace people. It is here to empower people. Think of it as a co-pilot, where it enhances your decision making. It is here to free up human creativity, not to eliminate roles. And it has to go beyond these tech hubs to local cities. Let's give credit where it's due. Cloud computing, the hyperscalers, have made AI much, much more accessible to the globe. I would like to reflect upon what my customer success officer says. It took almost a century for industrial revolution to have an impact. There was gradual impact, but it took a century to have a deep impact. Let's look few decades back, internet. Internet also took 10 years to have the amount of impact which it had to. But the impact which AI is having right now is instantaneous. So the rate at which the impact is being done is significantly lower at this point in time. So the key thing is, these advancements are there, but we really have to go further in embedding AI into our local communities, into our governance, public safety, education platforms. So if I reflect back, when the 78-year-old grandpa connected with his grandson using AI, it created a moment. It was not a technology moment. It was a human moment. It was a moment of connection. It was a moment of inclusion. It was a moment of dignity. This is what democratizing AI means. It's not about LLMs, it's not about GPUs, it's not about algorithms, it's not about data models. It's about people. It's about that farmer who would want to use AI to predict rains for his crops. It's about that student in Africa who would like to use AI to chase her dreams. It's about the local business owner who'd like to use AI to understand his policies and have better clarity. That is so key here. So AI is no longer the future, it is here. But the question to be asked is, who is it here to serve? If it is only here to serve the privileged few, if we build a future where it is going to serve only the privileged few, we have failed. Let's build a future where every grandpa, every student, every farmer, every businessman has their place in this AI story. And when we do that, we would not just be advancing technology, we would be elevating humanity. And that is an idea worth spreading. Thank you all.